Because, you know, freaking Charlie Kirk is he actually confirmed dead? Like, is he actually, like, confirmed? Yeah, he is? Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Did they caught the dude or so by any chance, or no? Or is he still on the run? Bullet in the neck. Oof. Oof. Yikes. Nickertons. That is crazy for just having a different political opinion, to be honest. Honestly, that's probably the most craziest thing I've ever heard. Just having... He's on the run still? Are you serious? Like, no camera has caught this guy or something? That's crazy to see that. Can I see? We're gonna see a few of these real quick.
I go around universities and have challenging conversations, and because that's what is so important to our country, is to find our disagreements respectfully, because when people stop talking, that's when violence happens.
On September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk held an America Comeback event at Utah Valley University to a large crowd of young supporters. Now, at one point, certain individuals were angry at this appearance, and then someone assassinated him, right there on stage. With the first to confirm it being President Donald Trump.
The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Millennia and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you.
Stating, no one understood or had the hearts of America's youth better than Charlie. At 31 years old, he's no longer with us.
Damn, at 31? Are you serious? He died at... Damn, dude. Just having a different political opinion, bro. Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm gonna be honest with you. This actually makes America look bad and actually literally a fucked up country. And this literally pushes the narrative of having insane asylums open back up again, because these people are animals. They're straight up, they have no sympathy from me. They are straight up animals. They would literally get locked up if they were in the void.
Survived by his wife and 2 young children. What they did to Charlie Kirk today changes everything, as they didn't shoot him over fascism, dismantling democracy, or any of those buzzwords they use to villainize the right. They shot him because he was brave enough to speak the truth in a way that nobody else could. So respectfully as possible, let's talk about why, what happens next, and most importantly, to pay our respects to Charlie and his legacy. As initially, this video spread of the alleged assassin, who was quickly found to not be who they were looking for, as it seems they knew he was in a nearby building, where he is currently in custody. But before any real information has come out, MSNBC immediately went into blaming Charlie.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially.
These people who are these news people or so, they're just spreading propaganda. They're actually ridiculous, to be honest. If this was in the playing field of the void or so with this situation itself, all of them would have been fired immediately. Literally, Mama Azathoth would literally go into that building and fire everybody, to be honest.
Divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly...
This person was fired within an hour of this cast. That's good. That's good, to be honest. Honestly, to be honest, like I understand, like, the void is a little bit different, you know, when shit gets twisted or so, you know how, like, these news people, like, just general, like, the American news in general likes to twist the story and everything and not give everything the truth or so. They immediately just get fucking deleted, so...
At least sort of pushing this sort of,
because we push for honesty and truth.
Aimed
That's
at certain
why
groups, and I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words.
What an actual retard, to be honest.
Hateful actions.
Trying to downplay if this was an assassination attempt.
We don't know the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this.
Okay.
The Democrat governors immediately trying to connect this to Trump.
Sympathy to Charlie Kirk's family and to Trump.
If you actually do connections of that, they would be immediately impeached. Because this is just retarded. This is just ridiculous at this point. At this point, it feels like America is a sick ass country, to be honest.
Charlie Kirk, who obviously We've seen other political violence occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it. We've seen the January 6th rioters.
They're still fucking talking about that? The fucking January 16th? Bro, shut the fuck up, dude. That shit is over, bro. That shit, how old is that already? God. Man, Asmongold is right. That they always bring that shit up every single time because they got nothing else to talk about, dude. Holy shit, man. It's insane, bro. It's like literally Mama Azathoth bringing up my like past mistakes over and over again. It's just like, bro, it's over. It's done. It's been 10 years ago. Let it go. Fuck, man. It's been 20 billion years. Yes, I caused this country to go to war. Blah, blah, blah. You know?
It's simply despicable how they're reacting to this, but of course
That is
the left
pretty
is going to
disrespectful,
downplay
to be
it
honest.
as they're likely the cause of it. As less than 24 hours ago, Charlie discussed the death of Irina Zarutska, to which CNN specifically called him out on.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about this too as well. We're going to talk about that, the Ukrainian woman refugee who unfortunately died as well.
Really, over the weekend, Elon Musk, Charlie Kirk, other Trump-aligned figures succeeded in making this senseless death a symbol.
And it wasn't the only time.
For someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself.
These people should be ashamed of themselves even talking about this subject, to be honest. Honestly, these people should be ashamed of themselves. They would be cast away or so from the void, honestly.
I didn't mention the word race, white, black, or anything except him.
And keep in mind, this CNN segment was after they released the video of the murderer saying he got that white girl while muttering, "She called me the word." But this is in line with them villainizing anybody that dares speak out against their official narrative, which goes alongside other liberal groups trying to align Charlie's movement with a hate map. As the mainstream media apparatus didn't do this themselves, but it definitely looks like they're doing their best to justify why this happens. Even Asmongold pointed out how this shouldn't be a surprise. Just look anywhere online to
Anyone surprised at what happened to Charlie Kirk hasn't been paying attention. Go anywhere, Reddit, Twitter, etc., and you'll find thousands of unhinged direct calls to violence over politics. Yep. I'm not surprised at all, to be honest. It was just a matter of time. For God's sakes, they did it for Donald Trump not even that long ago, to be honest. Well, yeah, you know. But, like, it's crazy just to have a different political standpoint. Hopefully these people who are literally celebrating his death or so literally be single forever so their dying lineage tree can stop there, to be honest. You definitely do not want to breed with people like that, in my personal opinion. TikTok is out of control right now. Twitter is almost worse. I can't even go to Reddit, and I was raised on 4chan. That's bad. This is fucking terrible, to be honest.
see people cheering this on, to which TikTok is filled with evil individuals rushing to their selfie cams to celebrate what happened.
What an actual piece of shit of human beings these are, actually. What an actual waste of space and a waste of life, to be honest. These individuals, you'll probably remember their faces, to be honest.
With evil and
these people, I'm hoping these people will get, you know, karma back in return, to be honest. This is absurd. This is like actually fucking crazy.
Individuals rushing to their selfie cams.
Actually really dumb.
To celebrate
actual like stupidity.
What happened? Even on Twitter, they're doing similar, where it's even worse on Reddit. Now, we don't need to go on all these sites to see low-life replies. I just think it's important to show how this isn't some small minority on the internet that thinks like this.
Now you guys understand why I do not want to date anyone from America. If I ever date somebody and they're from America, I would be looking up like their social shit like immediately if they're like into the crazy shit, you know?
We have a huge problem.
It's okay. My Twitter feed is all about like, you know, beautiful women at the end of the day. So cosplayers and stuff like that. So for future drawings that I'm going to be doing.
With people becoming programmed to want this, not against some Nazi dictator that's destroying democracy, but for an internet personality that has the courage to speak his mind on hostile college campuses.
Because mine it's all Japanese. That's why my Twitter feed is all Japanese.
Scares the left.
You are making a damn dent.
Thank you. I'm kidding.
No, but I know, but I appreciate that. I mean, it's the reason you're here, because I think people need to understand your success, your influence.
As he broke through pop culture and gleefully leaned into it.
The South Park episode just dropped, and honestly, it is hilarious. I mean, we need to have a good spirit about being made fun of. This is all a success. This is all a win.
They didn't go after an extreme, divisive, or overtly offensive public figure. They went after a regular guy that could
Yeah, my Twitter
articulate
feed is
what
none of
most
is
of
filled
America is thinking
nothing
to
with
the side that
America
needs to
related
hear it the
stuff.
most.
It's all Japanese
But like
related
Newsom
stuff.
said,
So.
he was
That's
making
why.
too much of an impact, and they not only needed to silence him, but also scare anybody that dare do the same. As Tim Cast announced, he's canceling his university shows.
We're canceling our events for obvious reasons. I got to confer with the crew on exactly how this plays out and what this means, but my phone is on fire right now with security as at the highest level it could possibly be, and we had an upcoming event.
That's crazy. Just literally having a different political opinion, you get fucking shot. That is actually the most craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, to be honest. Like, it's not really like super crazy because Donald Trump, but like, this is just a regular dude just literally talking about his opinion. Just a regular as American citizen talking about his opinions and why he objects of other people, and that's pretty much it. That is what the craziest thing about it, you know? Hopefully they catch the shooter, to be honest. Hopefully he gets reprimanded.
I was going to be
and gets thrown the book really hard at them
doing
for
much
taking
the same.
someone's life,
Now, I
taking
don't
a
blame
father
Tim in the
away too.
slightest. He's a young father who's not only responsible for his safety, but the safety of his entire team and all the supporters that would come out to see his shows. It's just an example of how an attack like this isn't just to silence Charlie, but his entire movement. As MSNBC is now worried, this might inspire the next Charlie Kirk.
How worried do you get about somebody taking up the cause of Charlie Kirk?
That is so stupid for you guys to be saying that. Be like, what are you guys feeling or so that the next Charlie Kirk is gonna come up or so? That honestly.
And giving them the largest
I hope
logical
so.
benefit, maybe they're saying they don't want retaliatory actions, to which
Gonna be honest, say this is political motivated, like likely it's obvious reasons, but doesn't this just make him a martyr? Like that's the worst thing you want if you hated him. Yeah, it does. It actually does make him into a martyr. You actually are going to push the actual, like, literally, what is it? What is it? The right side? Is it the right side? Right? The right side is the red team, right? I don't really know, to be honest. I don't keep track of American politics, to be honest. But it's gonna literally push them to the point that they're like, they have to, you know, at this point they have to bring insane asylums. I'm gonna be honest with you, they gotta bring insane asylums. Yeah, it's gonna get real ugly. This is just like the tip of the iceberg. It's gonna get a lot worse than this, to be honest. Like, it's gonna literally push the right side to be aggressive back towards the left, because the left is literally out of control. The left is literally the whole leftist political people or so are deranged. They literally are deranged. They should really, like, in my personal opinion, they should bring back insane asylums, to be honest. Like, they should. Like, these are not normal people. These are animals. And what do you do to animals? You put them in a cage so they don't hurt the rest of the other animals.
I can understand. But it comes across to me that they're just worried that Charlie Kirk isn't the end of Charlie's work, as I keep seeing people spamming the word war online, but honestly I don't think that's the right reaction to this. As of course his assassination is going to sadden and even outrage you, but that should
It also doesn't help that his opinions were very moderate, so it shows that even having a normal opinion makes you the enemy. Even then, just having a different opinion from other people who don't agree with you, you know, that's just it. It's not even like, you know, oh, it's just like it's a normal take or so. Just even having a different opinion from someone you disagree with causes you to be a target to anybody. Like, the most simplest thing. It's like, it's crazy, dude. It's like, I've never seen such shit like this, you know?
Inspire you to continue his will. So many people, including myself, looked up to Charlie because he had the courage to speak out, and they shot him for it. That can't mean they win. That just means his legacy is now your responsibility. Charlie was a man of faith, so I doubt he'd actually be out there attacking anybody, but even after all this, I don't think he'd be afraid to spread the truth. As one of his last tweets ever was him and his daughter, writing, Get married, have kids, and stop partying into oblivion. Leave a legacy, be courageous. Happy Sunday, and God bless all the parents out there.
That's terrible to hear that, dude. Your daughter runs up to you saying, "Hi, Daddy," and then, you know, you'll never be able to see him again. Like, that's, you know, that was probably like maybe like the last time. That's heartbreaking, to be honest. That's actually like, Hell, even if you're a leftist, you'll be off. You know, it's funny enough about it, when I woke up or so, you know, because I was like laying in bed or so for a bit, and then I went to the computer or so. Literally, my friends who are literally they messaged me on Discord and everything that because, you know, so first thing I got it was on my time, like my time feed or so on YouTube, and then secondly, my friends from like both political spectrums or so were send me a message or so. They both sent me a message specifically. One's a leftist, one's a rightist, right? But they're both best friends at the end of the day. They both literally like were telling me how, like, you know, did you hear the news? Did you hear the news? And I'm like, well, what happened? Well, I don't know. I was asleep. I was gone. So they're like, you know, they were telling me like, you know, this and that. Like, so I was hearing about it. I got bombarded by messages or so with this. So that's the craziest thing about it. That is just like, even like my friend who's a Democratic or so is completely like, you know, is just completely like insane, to be honest. They literally think these people are actually like literally legit crazy, like, honestly. And I assume this is the Asmongold that this is the video that's been talking about, right?
Hey guys, it's me again, and it's been a little while. Just before I get into the main topic of the video, I want to explain why there haven't been any videos. My dad has been in the hospital for the better part of a week now. Very serious situation. It has required my full attention.
Of course.
And because of that, I've been on calls, I've been dealing with other people, talking to members of the family, and doing everything that I need to be there for my dad and for my family during this situation. And because of that, I haven't been live and I haven't made a lot of videos. I apologize for that. Hopefully I'll be back as soon as possible. That being said...
And take your time, bro. Take your time. Family is always first. Family is always important at the end of the day. So you take the time that you need, man.
We had something insane happen today, and I was able to break away a little bit earlier, and I wanted to make a video about it and talk about the obvious and inevitable nature of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This happened a few hours ago, and it was, probably
asleep,
one of the most gruesome and graphic, and this is coming from somebody who grew up on LiveLeak, videos I've ever seen. The first time I saw a video, I thought it was AI generated. The guy gets shot in the neck and blood is spurting out. I didn't even know it could do that. And it was absolutely
I knew about that already.
Fucking horrifying to see something like that happen in front of a massive audience of people. Now, if you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, Charlie Kirk has been a pretty noteworthy, you know, like, controversial guy. He's a conservative. He goes to a lot of college campuses, does live debates. This is a pretty popular format nowadays, and Charlie Kirk has been popularizing it and utilizing it now for many years, and he's even featured in South Park recently because of it. Charlie Kirk definitely is not a super radical right-wing person, but I would say that he's more of the moderate to, you know, kind of extreme right-wing. Very, very, I would say, lukewarm, though, in my opinion, at least especially, and this is where we're going, especially compared to now. And what I think is going to happen now, because obviously these shootings like this don't really happen inside of a vacuum, and they never do, they never have. And I think that the situation that we have right now is that there is a tremendous amount of political violence that is advocated for, promoted, and allowed to exist on social media that has turned up the temperature in all political conversations, all social conversations, and all discourse on the internet in general, to a point where it's almost unrecoverable. You have people that are out there all the time advocating for violence, advocating for people to get killed. Somebody needs to take care of this guy. Somebody needs to deal with this. I wish he were dead. Won't somebody do it? The 8647, all
I think, in my personal opinion, if they actually post this stuff or so on the internet, they should be investigated. To be honest, they should be like investigated mentally and everything. So
of the crypto messaging and all the doxing, right? Why do you dox somebody? Why do you post a person's home
this is not
address?
normal behavior.
It's to make other people that are insane, like the person who killed Charlie Kirk, it's to give them the ammunition they need to kill that person and to put that person's life in danger. That's why they're doing it. And so that's the reason why they want to find out the identities of ICE agents. That's the reason why they want to find out the identities of Tesla owners, like at the beginning of the year. It's so they can destroy their car and destroy their lives. And this
luckily enough or so, you know, people have Teslas over here and everything, but like nobody has any issues. Like I haven't heard anything about like Tesla burning or scratching or blowing up or anything like that. There's nothing like that over here, which is, you know, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good at least, you know. So because they said, because, you know, apparently it was a lot happening or so apparently with that whole Tesla shit.
Isn't necessarily a one-sided thing. I think that in the last 5 years or so, especially since BLM, it's been a like 90% left-wing thing, but that doesn't mean that the 10% right-wing people are right either. But I do think that now you're going to see a lot more right-wing people balancing out those scales. The fact is that you can take a knife to a gunfight all you want, and you can think that you're honorable, but you're going to end up being dead. And
it's so stupid when they said it's freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. You know, like you said, inciting violence towards someone or threatening someone, taking away their own life or so, and all this shit does not actually protect you from the freedom of speech. You know, so it makes no sense. That's just stupid. That is such a stupid logic, to be honest.
I think that's what right-wing people have done for a very long time. They've tried to speak above the political violence. They've tried to advocate above it and not try to stoop down to that level. But the issue is that a lot of these social media companies have expressed literally zero desire to even...
This might actually be the seed that actually, like, Charlie Kirk's death or so might be the seed or so to actually rebirth more Charlie Kirks, actually. So when one man falls or so, 10 more takes its place. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's gonna be, like, in the far future or so, you know, you see like 10 more other, you know, Charlie Kirks, basically. Like, it's one thing to kill a politician and the sort should not happen anyways, but it's another thing to kill someone who just has a group supporting him just because they like what he says. Well, even then, on top of that, he's just a regular dude. He's not like, he's not a politician, right? If I remember correctly, Charlie Kirk is just a YouTuber, right? He's just a regular YouTuber, right? He just kind of like debates on college campuses and everything. That's it, right? Like, he doesn't run like a you know, he's not like in like I don't know, some kind of state government or something or whatever, or government or you know, nothing like that. It's like, I assume, you know,
do the bare minimum of moderation. I think that two of the worst actors are Twitter or X and
just a debater,
Reddit.
not a politician. He's a speaker. He didn't really engage in politics.
That
no, that's crazy. He's just a regular dude. That's the crazy thing about it.
And I think that now, I find it to be kind of interesting taking a step back for a week or so and seeing how many people are coming around to the inevitable reality that this is the only path forward. There are so many people in society now that are just completely unhinged, under-medicated, and really just completely insane that you can't have a person like that running wild out in society. They cause problems for themselves, not to mention everybody else around them. And I think that the society, we need to have an honest conversation about how to deal with these people in a way that...
Open up insane asylums. Simple. They've did it before, in the past, and you can do it again, to be honest.
I'll be real, I don't really care about the people that are crazy. Their well-being and the way that, you know, things are for them. Of course, obviously, I wouldn't want it to be bad, but it's certainly not important. What's really important is all the people who aren't crazy, making sure that people that are not crazy, that are good actors, that are law-abiding citizens, are able to live a life of peace, a life of prosperity, and a life without fear of going on the subway, for example, as at the recent event as well. And I think that every single person in the world deserves to live in a place like that. And I don't want to see, you know, America turn into a PvP server. And it sure seems like it is. And I think that in order
to be honest, I'm pretty disgusted at America or so for this actual act, you know? I was a little bit like eyebrow raising when they were trying to assassinate freaking Donald Trump or so, but then this one is just kind of like, it just kind of gives me disgust a little bit, you know?
To prevent that from happening, we need to have honest conversations about what do you do with people that, you know, get arrested 14 times. And it's not even a question, right? You put them in jail and you throw away the key and you compel them to work, and that way you can make the money back from imprisoning them forever.
That's the weird thing about it I don't understand about the US, like, justice system or so. Like, they arrest somebody 14 times, but he gets away, but, like, they release him, like, 14 times, and it's kind of like... I was like, what? What are we doing here? Bro, the man broke the law. Fucking take his ass to jail. I don't understand what you guys are doing. That's because of the activist judges? Oh, God. He co-founded a political advocacy group called Turning Point Action, but neither he or the org was directly involved in governance.
That's the way that you solve that problem. It's very simple, actually. But for some reason,
America's so fucked up, to be honest. What an actual like
has made them
ridiculous thing. My point, like literally, my point of view of America has been completely warped or so now.
Obvious truth. If you look in history, this is what we've always done in history, and it's because it works. And the problem is that now we have so much of the discourse that's dominated by emotional thinking, that's dominated by the most unstable, the most virtue signal, the most, ridiculous, performative empathy possible. And that's defining a huge political voice in the country.
Man, the world is completely fucked, to be honest. That's crazy.
Detriment to everyone. And I think that with people like the shooter...
These are all mostly like first world countries too as well.
With that guy in the subway that stabbed that Ukrainian woman, or with that trans shooter that shot up the school. One thing that's common among all of them is that these people, in almost all cases, were verifiably nuts beforehand.
Yeah, of course.
And nothing ever was done about it. And until we can stomach the idea of solving problems like that before they happen, we're going to keep having problems. And I think that with Charlie Kirk, it's very obvious that the amount of, political violence and advocating for political violence that's happening on the internet has turned up the temperature and created an environment and a culture where this type of behavior is normal. And not only is it normal, but it's actually encouraged. And the problem is that now people are acting on it. And you're starting to see this happen, and I think it's going to continue getting worse.
Yeah.
I don't think Charlie Kirk is going to be the last one.
No.
But I think that we will look at Charlie Kirk's death and see it as a turning point in this topic. And what I'm really trying to get at here with this entire point is that right now we are at a extremely pivotal moment. And I think that what's going to end up happening is that right-wing people are not going to continue to turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
They're not going to continue to just, this is just a crazy left-wing radical. I think you're probably going to see right-wing people doing the same thing to left-wing people. And honestly, while I don't think this is a good thing, I certainly don't...
It's straight up going to be an actual straight up PvP server where literally, it takes, the the right, it's like literally poking the bear, bro. It's like literally that metaphor. So keep poking the bear and see what happens or so. They kept pushing the bear so far, so literally the bear is being the right side, and now they're going to, now they're literally going to freaking push back or become more aggressive towards the person who keeps poking the bear, What the hell is happening in America? I have no idea, to be honest.
Really feel that sorry for them, because a lot of left-wing people have no problem advocating for violence, or at least using coded language in order to advocate for violence. The fact is that there's a certain level of intellectual dishonesty that goes on in situations like this, where it's considered, oh, well, this isn't actually what they meant, and no, this is actually some other... No, it is. It's exactly what they mean. They're trying to advocate for killing people that they disagree with. That's what's happening, and there's no talking around it. And to the extent that you try to, you're insulting the intelligence of anyone that you're speaking to. And I think that now you're going to start seeing a lot of right-wing people end up doing this to left-wing people now even more, because it's very clear that these social media platforms are not going to moderate this behavior. The FBI, for whatever reason, just refuses to deal with or have any degree of accountability for dealing with these obvious terrorists that are in the country. And because of that, I think you're going to start seeing an uptick of violence from right-wing people as well. And this is going to be, in my opinion, I don't really think the word is justified, because it's not justified, but the word is expected. I think it's going to be expected. The fact is that, again, you bring a knife to a gunfight, you're going to lose. And don't be surprised when you keep bringing guns to gunfights and then somebody else decides to start shooting back. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think this is a degradation of society as a whole.
It's crazy. It's so crazy to see that. Even like my two friends who are like one's a Democratic and one's a Republican or so, were both shocked or so when this actually happened. Like it was just completely like what the fuck, dude? Like it's crazy. Like literally. What's truly scary though? Neo-Nazis are more civil than these people. I know that's the craziest thing about that, It's crazy because I have two friends. They never knew each other's political point of view until like way later when they talked about it. It was during the what was that thing or so? Something about the internet. Something about the internet in America or something being regulated or something like that. I forgot what it was called. It was during that time or so. And that's when they talked about their political points of views on it. Because it diverged into it. But they don't really care though, because like at the end of the day, they're both friends. Like they're both good friends with each other because they played Call of Duty together. So they don't care about each other's politics. They just enjoy hanging out with each other, and then that's pretty much about it. Only time like that was something like net neutrality or some such. Yeah. I think it was that net neutrality thing. Yeah, that was literally it. Like they literally because it diverged into like politics stuff afterwards, and literally on top of that, it was just nothing, they just talked about it. They had their disagreements, they moved on, they played video games together, and then that was it. They both had fun, and that's it. They both have different opinions for different things, but they both can agree to disagree on certain things, and then they can still become, they can still play COD together and not have a problem, Bros come together playing COD. Yeah, because they both originally played Call of Duty together, That's what the different thing about it is, And they don't really care about each other's politics, I wish we could agree to disagree in this day and age. Man, what video games can do. Yeah, I know. That's the craziest thing about it, These people are just deranged for not letting other people have different opinions, That's crazy.
And ultimately, the real burden of responsibility here doesn't really fall on influencers, and I don't think that it falls even on the commenters themselves. I think it falls primarily on the government. The fact is that the government, there are already laws that permit, explicit calls to violence. There's already laws that permit the types of stalking and doxing that people engage in online. And one of the big things that is a misconception is
I think to be honest, I know there's a law or so in like what is it, government and because I know government or state stuff, right? I mean like it should be a whole wide nation type of law, you know. It should be across the entire board of the American country, and it has to be a pretty strict law too as well.
that people like me want new laws. We want any form of extra censorship at all. I certainly don't want that, and I don't know anybody else that does either. But what we do want is we want the existing laws to be applied and to be enforced in an accurate and a fair way, which is clearly not what's happening. And really, the government not doing that and giving this asymmetrical, in my opinion, advantage to left-wing people to fully and with complete freedom practice genuine terrorism on a daily basis, and then, you know, congratulate each other about how moral and how good they are for doing it because something bad that happened in Palestine or something bad that Donald Trump did 3 years ago. This is just simply a response. This is what's going to happen. And so, and I think that's...
Oh, I have a friend who was from New Zealand, actually. That's funny.
What it's going to take for these left-wing people to realize what a bad idea what they've been doing is. Because until it starts happening to them, until they start having people that are their friends or, you know, their, you know, like icons that they look up to, the same way people looked up to Charlie Kirk, you know, until they start seeing those people get killed, I don't think it's really going to be real for them. And unfortunately, I think that's the path that we're headed down because of the government and social media companies and every other seemingly governmental apparatus that has just completely hand-waved this problem and ignored it entirely. So the death of Charlie Kirk and the assassination of him should not come as a surprise to anyone. This should be something that everybody could have expected.
Yeah.
All you had to do is read Twitter for an hour and you could have told me this would have happened, of course. Same with Reddit. And until that core problem is addressed, you will continue to see a rapid decline in any type of social discourse. And I'm actually kind of afraid to see what's going to happen next, because I think it's just going to continue getting worse, and I don't see the reason for it to stop. And so anyway, I wanted to make this video because it's obviously a topic that, you know, I've been talking about this a lot for the past few years now, and I was laughed at a lot, and people were telling me it wasn't that big of a deal, and oh, they were joking. Well, I saw the video. That wasn't a joke. And the reality is that those jokes and everything create a culture and an environment where the actual actions are more permissible. And you also have people that are the ones telling the quote jokes that are talking around just, you know, directly, you know, saying that this is a bad thing and it shouldn't be tolerated for any reason. You have, I don't want to go through a bunch of different names, but anybody, this is the way I look at it, I'm just going to make a categorical judgment here, is that any content creator or anybody like this who has been advocating for violence against a person in an extrajudicial way. I'm not talking about trying people who they disagree with for treason. This is advocating for the judicial process to be used against people they disagree with. I think that's fine. But whenever you have people that are saying things like 8647, or anybody who's advocating for any form of extrajudicial justice, extrajudicial justice, and basically vigilante justice on people who they disagree with politically, you have to realize that all of those people, I think, have made themselves acceptable targets. And I think that there's a lot and millions of people out there nowadays that see that. And I think that that should be extremely worrying for them. It should be terrifying. But the reality is that they have created that environment themselves through their own actions, through their behavior, and through their own words. You reap what you sow. And I think that things are about to get a whole lot worse. So anyway, guys, I wanted to make this video and talk about it. And that's about all I've got to say.
86 is a slang for kill. 47 is for Trump, as he's the 47th president.
So I hope to be back soon. I'll record videos when I can, here and there, but for the most part, as I said before, my dad has had so many really serious issues going on.
Yeah, no worries,
I need
bro.
to devote my full
Take your time, bro. You know, love your, take care of your dad, bro. Yeah, as a an ex-high-ranking CIA member posted a picture with that on the sand.
attention to making
I
sure
remember
that he's
that.
healthy and taken
I
care
remember
of.
that. Yeah.
And so, as much as I look
I just
forward
never
to
understood
streaming,
the weird
this
slang.
has to take priority. I don't have a time frame. It will probably be a matter of weeks, and maybe not even that long until I'm back regularly. And so, hopefully, that's the case. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Another senseless death that never needed to happen. And I think that anybody who was, talking about this and turning up the heat on any of this type of political rhetoric and discussing, or at least, flirting with the idea of political violence, I think all of those people have made themselves acceptable targets in all of the worst ways possible. And I don't think that this is a good thing either, but I think it's happened. So anyway, guys, thank you all very much for watching. And I guess I'll see you soon. Anyway, peace.
A girl gets her throat slit for no reason. A guy gets shot for having a different opinion, but they're joking. And they're joking, making excuses, and even celebrating what happened to them. Meanwhile, the criminal dies from a drug overdose, and they burn down cities and erect statues. It's scary being a normal person in the world of idiots. That's crazy. I guess my country was just lucky when we did have our election, because we really did not like how the right parties were basically doing to Trump's politics. Our politics stay as our own. I will never understand the glee that comes from the deaths of others. It's crazy how other people just actually celebrate this. What an actual disgusting behavior, to be honest. Like generally honestly, it's crazy to hear that, to be honest. It's disturbing, dude. It's wild. What a bunch of actual disgusting people, to be honest. I'm hoping that their lineage ends where they're at, to be honest. Their family lineage. Hopefully it ends there, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm hoping straight up their lineage of their family tree ends there, to be honest. So I'll be happy. I'll be happy for that, to be honest. We don't need more retards, giving birth to people like that, to be honest, at the end of the day. Especially having a weird, wicked, twisted mind like that, celebrating of someone's death. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy, jazzy stuff. Honestly, it's pretty disgusting behavior of what just happened, or so. Just having just a regular guy having a different opinion, being assassinated in broad daylight is crazy, dude. That's crazy. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah, Donald Trump should open up insane asylums, in my personal opinion, and put an end to this once and for all. Anyways, but that's just my opinion. Who knows? But that's what I agree with at the end of the day. This is the kind of thing that causes angry mustache man. We do not need more of that. In front of his wife and 2 infants, children no less. Yep. I'd just open up reopen up the insane asylums and put these people in that fucking room or so where there's a bunch of comfy cushions. Yeah, just put them in there. And I personally, if I ever, because I know there's been a lot of shit that's been crazy that's been happening in America and everything like that. I don't even know if I even feel safe to go visit sometimes, so anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah, fuck that, dude.